Hello, that do not look like me. Hold on. Hey, everybody that's joining in. Hello, hello, hello. That's kind of cute, though. Y'all have joined me live. Y'all know I pick a filter to give a little zhuzh, but I need filters that still look like me. I don't like filters that make me look like somebody else. Hey, we are searching for a filter. Oh, gosh. This is the one we've been kind of going with lately, but I think I want something else. Let's see. Who is this? Why is this a thing? This is a filter Tamisha likes to use. Let's cut that off. Nope, that's still giving me a little bit too much. Hey, everybody that's joining in. We're getting ready to record the podcast, but we're trying to find a filter for now that gives me something, but makes me still look like myself. Because y'all ain't going to see me in person and be like, who is that? No, that's not. Y'all, what is Instagram doing? Bruh, okay. Let's go back. No. All right, we just going to go without the filter. This is no filter because this is clearly not working. Did I try this one? Yeah, that was too much. No. Which one? Lynn, which one? This one? Is this one okay? Let me know, y'all. Hey, everybody that's joining in. We are at the part of the show where we find me a filter. My necklace all jumbled up. We just did our content recording day. Thanks, girl. We just did our content recording day. So we record all of our content. This is all screwed up. Whatever. We record all of our content for the month at one time. Because we only going to get this out of me a couple of times. I am very head down, working behind my computer, not really trying to be online, not trying to be seen, just trying to get stuff done. So every now and then I got to pop out on them. And we only going to do that once a month. Y'all seen that TikTok where it be like, 99% of the time, I'm looking raggedy. But that other 1%, you're going to get the little dunk-da-dunk, a little shink-da-dink. Like, so that's where we at now. We had a little shink-da-dink for today. But we just recorded, oh my God, we recorded so much. Like 5 Anchor Media videos, about 2 reels for Anchor Media. Then we went to my YouTube channel and did about 4 or 5 videos and about 2 reels for that too. And then my marketing manager is also an awesome photographer. So we did like some shoots, some shots, some content shots of me and a couple more headshots. So we've done a lot. I got some energy today. I don't know why. I've been up since 5. I had some coffee. I had 2 cups of coffee. That's probably why I got a little bit of energy. And so I need to get this podcast recorded. So I'm about to do that. I'm going to a Nigerian wedding tonight, y'all. So I got to get out of here, okay? Because I'm going to be throwing money this evening. I'm going to be eating all the jollof rice and living my best life at this wedding. Ain't no wedding like a Nigerian wedding. And it's a traditional wedding. So it's a whole situation at the traditional weddings. So I'm excited about that, and I need to get this podcast recorded so that I can go home. I'm so mad because I was supposed to have like the full African garb, but my father-in-law is not coming back. He was supposed to be back from Nigeria yesterday, and he was getting an outfit made for me and my husband, but he switched his flight to like tomorrow or something, so he's not going to be here. So I got to wear like regular clothes. I wanted to wear like the full situation, but I didn't have time to find anybody to make me something. I could wear something I already have, but I don't want to do that. I love Nigerian weddings. Listen, and then we're going to get to this podcast. When I got married, I told my husband that when they spray, we doing that, okay? That's going to be in his wedding. Because I asked him, did he want to do a traditional wedding? He didn't really want to do that. So I'm like, okay, cool. But that part where y'all spray money, yeah, we're going to keep that part. of the wedding. And we did. So at our reception, we changed into traditional. He's from the Shakiri tribe. We changed into traditional wear and dance. And listen, I busted down for that money, okay? I was like, put DeVito and WizKid on a loop and throw that cash, okay? And my bridesmaids was on it. Literally, the money didn't even hit the floor before they had the money. And my sister, she's my maid of honor. She was the bank. So everybody came to her and was like, I need like change. They would have like 20s or whatever, and she had to divide up the change. I was like, banker, get them their money, okay? Because we not stopping this. They're going to kick us out. I'm going to be on this floor all night shaking whatever I need to shake. Because I want every cent they came with. Let's go. What is expensive? And we sure did. We made out with some good money, too. I was guarding that money with my life because I had a destination wedding. I was guarding that money with my life on the way back from Jamaica. But yes, I'm excited to go and make it rain tonight at the Nigerian wedding. I be cutting up. Don't pay me no mind. Don't pay me no mind. This is what happens with the podcast that people don't hear. I just be cutting up on the back end. All right, let me get civilized for a second. Hey, everybody that's joining in. I've been cutting up for the last few minutes, but we're about to record I don't even know what episode this is, episode 200 something of the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. It's going to come out tomorrow. I'll do all the editing and stuff later, but I just need to get the episode done. And that's it. If y'all have any questions about the episode or any comments or anything, go ahead and type them in. I'm not going to look as much while I'm recording because it can get a little bit distracting. But then once I'm done, y'all got me back. Cool. Let me pull up my notes and get a little split screen going so I can see and make sure the audio is good at the same time. We did one of the videos we recorded today for my YouTube channel was like a get to know me video. And it was really fun to do. I hope you guys enjoy that video when it comes out. Okay. All right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. That's not right. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think we're good. When is this coming out? Tomorrow? Do I have any announcements? I don't think so. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. Can I just tell y'all that I hit a milestone this week? Before we even get to this episode, I am so excited. I finished my manuscript. Praise the Lord. I've been working on my book for 8 months. I started in December and I just wrapped up. My publisher hit me up last month like, hey sis, what's up? When is book gonna be done? And I told them that I will be finished by the end of August. And I met my deadline. My husband is writing the foreword. So he just needs to send me that to insert into the beginning. And one of the ladies on our publishing team, she kind of has been writing the book with me in a sense to where after I finish a chapter, I'll ask her to review it and give any input on if there's anything that I can elaborate on, if there's anything that I can be more clear about. And so I sent the finished thing over to her so she could give me her comments. So then by Monday, I'll just address those comments, plop in BJ's portion, and I am finished with the book. I still don't know when it's going to come out. I have to, now that I'm done, I'll meet with the publishing team to talk about the rest of the production process. But honestly, I'm hoping it comes out like maybe early next year, because I'm trying to chill for the rest of the year, to be honest with you guys. I don't want to go into book promotion mode. I just want to chill. But if it does have to come out this year, I'm cool with that too. But it just felt so good to get it done. And it actually led me into what I want to talk to you guys about on this episode. So the title of today's episode is Addressing Overwhelm Head On. Again, addressing overwhelm head on. I had to have a pull-up with myself this week. And what that means for me is I've noticed within myself that I've been off. And I needed to pull myself up to get myself together. And I tell you guys all the time that I believe self-awareness is the secret to success, is a secret to success. And so for me, I'm a very self-aware person, and I like to function a certain way. I like for my life to be seamless. I mean, that's not always possible, so I understand that, but I like my life to operate in a way to where it's seamless, it flows well. It's calm. There's not a lot of anxiety going on. I don't like to be overwhelmed. I like to get things done, and I like to be joyful and just happy on a day-to-day basis. I like to just be myself and be happy and have joy and peace on a day-to-day basis. So anytime that standard for how I want to live gets interrupted, I have a little pull-up. Now, sometimes it's things I don't have control over, right? Like something may happen in my family, or life may happen, or whatever. Those things are understandable. What I'm talking about is just on a regular day, I just like to be happy and joyful and have things to be moving as smooth as possible. And so what I noticed this week was I was getting into that overwhelmed space. And so I have indicators where I know I'm overwhelmed. Usually I get snappy. I don't smile as much. I have like a bit of an attitude. I'm not as goofy. I'm a very silly person. I crack jokes and I talk a lot of trash. That's just like my personality. So usually when I'm like quiet and reserved and not cracking jokes or anything like that, is a problem. And I thank God for my husband, because he usually notices it and be like, what's up? I just threw you the perfect alley-oop to say something smart and you didn't take it. What's the problem? but I noticed some things were off within myself, and I had to have a pull-up. And I'm telling you guys about this because I want you guys to implement this in your life as well, to have a level of self-awareness to where you can pull yourself up and get yourself back on track before things get too far. And so for me this week, that's where I was at. Like I was irritable, tired, didn't feel like doing anything. Even at the gym, like I always complain when I work out, period, because I don't like doing it. And so I'm always fussing at the trainer. But I just didn't even have like the energy I usually have. And I've been tired, all of these things. So I'm like, okay, something is wrong. And so I'm talking about addressing overwhelm head on, because this is what I had to do. And I know you guys, as women who wear a lot of hats, you have a lot of things going on. Even the guys who listen to the show, we all have things going on. That's a part of life, and life isn't always going smoothly. But it's important that when there are things going on that's within our control, we recognize it and we pull ourselves together so that we can get back on track. And I'm walking you guys through this pull-up I had with myself in an effort to give you some tools and some tips that you can use to implement the same thing. I believe we shouldn't have to get so far off the deep end before we realize there's a problem. Usually big problems and blow-ups and explosions are a result of little fires that didn't get put out when they needed to, and didn't get addressed when they needed to get addressed. And so for me, that's where I was at this week. And so I knew that I needed to address this overwhelming state that I felt head on. And so here's what that looked like. And here's how I want you guys to do the same thing. Step one is I had to take a step back. So whenever you're in that space where life is just being life, or just things are getting off, you need to take a step back to evaluate things. Take a step away from your computer. Put the phone down for a second. Put your phone on do not disturb. Cut the TV off. Go for a walk. Just remove yourself from the environment that you're in so that you can just think. And while you're taking that step back to think, process your emotions. I believe right now we're in a society to where like everybody's afraid to feel. And that's just not healthy. Everybody is afraid to feel. The second you feel something, it's like, oh, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Everything is thrown into this I don't care category. But your feelings are valid. And we have to healthily and effectively process our feelings so that we can get to a good space. Some people can do this by themselves. I'm pretty good at processing my emotions by myself. But whenever I get to the point where I'm unable to do that, I go to therapy. And I suggest all of you guys do the same thing. Go to therapy and talk to a licensed professional or a counselor that will be able to help you process your emotions and your feelings, whatever they may be. So after you take a step back, again, process those emotions. And processing, when you do that, it allows you to be productive. It allows you to make the adjustments that you need to make so that you don't get back into that emotional state. So for me personally, I took a step back. And I did this step 2 of processing my emotions. And what I realized was I got off of my routine, and the root of my overwhelm was I wasn't taking control of my day anymore. I let my days take control of me. And that's usually something that always leads to me being irritable and overwhelmed and not showing up the best I need to show up for the various titles and roles that I hold. And so while I was processing my emotion, I was able to identify what I call OEP. OEP, an overwhelm entry point. And again, if you find yourself to be overwhelmed, I'm giving you a blueprint that I believe is going to help you get back on track. I identified the overwhelm entry points. And one of those for me was getting off of my routine. My morning routine is usually I wake up, I walk. And during that walk, I listen to worship music. It's usually early in the morning because the sun is just now coming up. The air is fresh. It's not a lot going on. People aren't quite in the hustle and bustle of regular life just yet. So it's not too many cars around the area that I'm going for a walk. The birds are chirping, all of the things. It's just a very serene and calming time of day to be awake. And so I usually go for a walk during that time, and I walk, I listen to worship music, I pray. Sometimes I'm just quiet, and that walk is usually about 3 miles. So I take like 3 laps of the little route that I take. And that's my morning routine. I wake up before my husband and my son. I go out, do my walk, and I pray. When I come back in the house, if I have enough time, I'll make me a cup of coffee, and I'll sit down and I'll just drink the coffee and taste it. Not having to put it in the microwave. I know y'all, anything like me, you put the coffee in the microwave 50 billion times before you actually finish the cup. That's how I am when I'm not taking control of my day. But during this morning routine, I drink the coffee, I taste it, I smell it, I just sit for a second and get myself together before I have to make breakfast for the baby, answer emails, give my team what they need from me, have meetings with my clients in the evenings, then, being a wife and being there for my husband before I have to be all the things for everybody else. I just start the day with myself, with God, and it just puts me where I need to be so that I'm in control of my day. And so my morning routine was something that I had got away from because I had to wake up early to finish this manuscript. So there's going to be seasons where your schedule gets disrupted, and that was one of mine for me. I had a deadline to reach, so my morning routine had to take a back seat so that I could finish writing. But getting off my routine has been an overwhelm entry point. Even with that, one of the things that I also do is I order groceries usually on Thursday nights. And I keep a running list in my phone of what we need. We pretty much eat some of the same things in my house usually. So I always know if we run out of something, I'll put it on my grocery list that's in my phone. And on Thursday evenings, as I'm kind of just chilling after the baby goes to sleep, I'll go on Instacart is who I use. They're not sponsoring this. So shout out to them for giving this free little plug real quick. But I will go on there and order all my groceries and have it set to be delivered the next day. So that way I don't have to go to the store. I know my groceries are going to get delivered on Friday. I don't have to think about having food in my house or anything like that. So I hadn't been doing that. So then I've been going to the grocery store and reminded why I don't like to go. So now I'm annoyed because I'm in the store and I hate grocery shopping. I'm spending time there that I could be spending doing other things that I'm feeling unproductive. So again, my schedule is off. Another major key to how I set my life up to run smoothly is I plan all of my weeks a week in advance. So on Fridays, I plan everything that I need to do for the following week. I don't work on the weekends except for 1 week in a month when we record content, which is what today is. And then that's the only day I give myself to do work on the weekends. Other than that, I don't work weekends. So on Fridays, I plan the whole next week. So when Monday comes along, I know exactly what I need to do. I wake up, do my morning routine, go to the gym. When I come back, I already know what is in my software that I use to know what my life is looking like at that time. And I just start knocking things off my list. So again, because I have been off my schedule and off of my routine and the system that I've created for myself to be able to master my life, everything just came to a head. And so in this pull-up, I had to sit myself down and say, okay, Tatum, where did we go wrong? Why have you been on edge? Where did we go wrong? And so that's what I had to do. I identified where I was allowing overwhelm to enter into my life. And I was allowing that to enter by not sticking to the routines and the things that have been working up until this point. And so that's what I want you to do as well. If you find yourself in this state of being overwhelmed, identify what doors have you left open for things to be chaotic right now. And after you identify it, close those doors and then put controls in place so that those doors can stay shut. So for me, I had to sit and reevaluate things a little bit deeper. So one of the stressors that I noticed that have been just particularly draining for me in my business was I have to wear so many different hats. I'm the talent, in a sense where nobody can record this podcast but me. Nobody can put those words in or pages in that book. There's no ghostwriters over here. Nobody can write that but me. Nobody's writing the devotional but me. Nobody can be on camera for these YouTube videos and all of this content but me. Even on my role as running my company, nobody can give my team some of the things that they need from me but me. And so I have to wear so many different hats and shift from working in my business to on my business and being a talent and planning for next year and figuring out how we can increase our profit margins and what content we need to create or what new product we should create, what opportunities are happening in podcasting that we can take advantage of. It's literally all of these different roles and places I have to maneuver because of the role that I have within the company. And I had to realize as I'm identifying those overwhelmed entry points that is exhausting to me and it's draining. And because I wasn't segmenting how I showed up in my company and when, and I was just doing all of the things throughout the course of the day, I was exerting a lot more energy than necessary to where if I was to just focus on one thing, I'll be able to focus on that and it won't be as exhausting. So for example, today is a content creation day. So I'm showing up to to my company today as the talent. I'm not the executive. I'm the talent. So our marketing manager is my boss today. She tells me what to do. She tells me what I need to talk about, the points I need to make, what I need to plug, all of the things. I'm just here to do what I'm told. And so that makes it easier because now I'm showing up as a talent. Because I don't have to be the talent and the boss, it's less mental energy. I can just sit in this role and sit with this hat right now. And so that's how I'm able to record. Today we recorded like 10 videos and like 5 reels. And now I'm recording the podcast. And I'm not even tired, which is funny. I'm going to order me some food. And I'm going to go home, get ready for this wedding we're going to tonight. Like I have all the energy in the world because I didn't have to wear all the hats today. I just had to focus on being the talent. And so with my company, again, analyzing these entry points to overwhelm, I realized that I have to now segment my different roles in the business. So when it comes to, let's just take Monday, for example, now moving forward, I have to set, let's say Mondays are my executive day. So this is the day where I take care of all of the executive related tasks within my business. And then it might be another day. This is my business development day. So this is the day I'm going to do my research on the industry, where I'm going to analyze our P&L statements, which is profit and loss statements. I'm going to look at all of our systems and SOPs, which are standard operating procedures within the company, and figure out how can I improve. So just by making this simple adjustment to where Monday I'm going to be the talent, Tuesday I'm going to be the executive, Wednesday I'm going to do business development, just that simple thing has now solved a lot of my exhaustion problems, because I'm not forcing myself to be 5 different roles in my business at once. I'm just focusing in on one and exerting my energy into that. And again, by having this pull up, you're able to come up with the strategies, and you're able to think strategically and objectively, so that you can then restructure how you're doing things, whether it's in your life or in your business. Restructure it in a way to where you're now not getting as anxious and as overwhelmed or exhausted. You're analyzing and addressing the problem head on and solving it. Or exhausted. You're analyzing and addressing the problem head on and solving it. So let's take a step back for a second and regroup where we're at so far. When you're doing this pull up with yourself, when you're addressing your overwhelm head on, the first thing you need to do is take a step back. The second thing that you need to do is process your emotions. The third thing you need to do is identify those OEPs, overwhelm entry points. Figure out, where is the door open for life to be kicking my behind like this? And put the controls in place and strategize to keep those doors shut. I'm going to do a podcast and something else. Like, it's been ringing in my head, the phrase saved and strategic, for a while, because I believe that as people of faith, we get so saved. And shout out to Charlotte. She said it perfectly when we were talking about this the other day, where sometimes you're so saved, you're not earthly good. And what she meant by that is, like, you get so saved, you don't understand that you can be strategic too. That strategy has a place in what you're doing. And sometimes we make ourselves even more overwhelmed and even more exhausted because we are, going in spiritually for something that's a practical problem. To where I didn't need to go on a 40-day and 40-night fast to figure out why I was overwhelmed. I needed to identify what I was doing wrong practically, so that I can make those necessary adjustments to get back in a place where I'm mastering my life. Sometimes it's not always deep. Sometimes the problem is right there for us to solve, but we have to be committed to solving the practical problems that are presenting themselves in our life. And so the last thing that I want you to do when you're having this pull up with yourself is reevaluate your current processes, reevaluate your current blueprint. In my book, the last chapter is called The Blueprint. And so the whole book is about pretty much the mindset and the spiritual stuff and all of the things that you need in order to master your life and have total life success. And then at the very end, we talk about the blueprint, which is the foundational things that you need to do and the practical things that you need to do in your life so that you can experience that harmony and that balance that we all want. And so I'm not going to give the book away. We'll talk about that later on, but the last step to this pull-up is reevaluate the plan that you have in place right now for how you're living your life. It may be you don't have one, and that's where you need to start. It may be, like I said, I was in a place where I have multiple roles within my company, and I was trying to do all of them within a course of the day, and that was leading to me being a lot more exhausted than I had to. And so a simple adjustment was, I'm only going to operate in one space each day in my company. So because I had a blueprint or a plan already in place, I was able to just make minor adjustments. Some of you guys need to throw it away and create a new one. The way that I worked when I first got into entrepreneurship, I can't work like that now. I was single, I ain't had no kids, living on my own, was responsible for nobody but myself. I wasn't even all the way saved. So I was out here doing whatever. And I can't do that now. I can't approach my company the way that I did back then when it was just me and I was just getting started and figuring everything out. When I left my job, dang, it's going to be 5 years in 2022. That's wow. My bad. It just hit me that it was about to be 5 years. But when I left my job almost 5 years ago, the way that I approached my business at that time was different than 2 years prior when I first became an entrepreneur. When I got married, the way I approached my life was different because now I have a new responsibility that takes precedence over my business. I can't go and be on my computer 24/7 and be a part of the grind and prioritizing my business over everything because now I made a covenant with somebody that put him in a place to where he comes before my company. So I had to approach things differently. Even when I had a child, I had to throw the blueprint I had away and create a whole new one. Because now I have this family unit, and in that is the relationship with me and my husband one-on-one, my relationship with me and my child one-on-one, and then our relationship as a unit. And that all of those come before my business. So now the way I show up in my business, it has to be different in order for it to work. And so again, some of you guys may be trying to apply old strategies to new seasons. And so it's not necessarily spiritual warfare that you're dealing with. It's just a lack of readjusting to the current season that you're in. That's it. And so I wanted to kind of just talk through this experience that I've had with myself and, really hitting that point recently where I've been overwhelmed and just stressed out and snappy and just tired and exhausted, and how I kind of address that head on so that I can work through it and get back to a place where I'm mastering my life. And I want you guys to apply these same things if you're experiencing this season as well, or bookmark, save, archive this podcast so that when you are there, you can come back and revisit it. So let's recap one more time. The first thing you're going to do is take a step back. The second thing you're going to do is process your emotions. The third thing you're going to do is identify the OEPs, the overwhelm entry points. And with that, you put the controls in place after you close those doors to keep them shut. And the fourth thing that you're going to do is reevaluate the current blueprint or plan that you have with how you're living your life, and either make the adjustments necessary or throw it out and create a new one that's going to fit this season that you're in. So that is it for this episode of the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and I will talk to you next week. That's it. That's all, you guys. The show is always shorter when I do it on live. I keep them definitely below 30 minutes. I don't like to have the show be longer. That one was 24 minutes. And that's not including like the minute or so of the intro. And that's not including ads. So I'm actually right where I like to be as far as time is concerned. How y'all feeling? Y'all good? Ladies, how y'all feel? Fellas, y'all all right? Hey, Tiffany girl. Blessed Home and Body says, so smart to batch tasks according to days because your energy is focused and you're not flipping back and forth. Exactly. I read an article that said multitasking is impossible. And impossible in a sense to where you're never going to get any focused work done. And I think that's so true. I can multitask with certain things, like listen to a podcast while I'm cooking, or listen to a podcast while I'm driving, or maybe talking on the phone while I'm doing something else. But when it comes to like business and stuff like that, I can't multitask and do that. I have to be focused. When it comes to my kid, I'm gonna spend time with my kid, I'm on my phone and all of that. That's not quality time. So just really setting aside those days for focused tasks has been like a game changer for me. And even with that, like, and I didn't even say this on the show, something that I had to stop doing was giving myself so much to do. A part of the reason why I was overwhelmed and stressed out and feeling unproductive is because I gave myself 50 million tasks to do in a day. For what? Like, why? Why did I do that to myself? But it's because I think I can do everything. And so I just played myself and just contributed to that overwhelming feeling. And so now in my book, I call it the focused 5, and just pick 5 things a day to do when it comes to whatever it is that you have going on. And I'll go into detail about it, but the focused 5. So that way I know I work from this time to this time. And these are the 5 things I'm going to do. And once I'm done with that, I'm done. If I can get it done early, perfect. I'm going to chill for that extra time. I'm not going to find something else for me to do. I'm going to do something that's just going to improve myself and just chill. Oh, I love you too, girl. You look amazing. Thanks, Tiffany, girl. This is a filter. We picked the filter before the show started. The other ones just wasn't doing it, and we settled on this one. Lynn helped me pick this one. I do look cute without it, though. Let me take it off for a second. Boom. See? A little oily. A little bit. But still look cute. Thanks for the hair compliments. I like this hairstyle. I was a little nervous at first. But I like trying new hairstyles. Black girl 101. Always changing our hair. All right, guys, so that is it. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for those who were here early and was cutting up with me before we recorded the show. Make sure you subscribe and listen to the Blessed and Bossed Up podcast. And I think that's it. Y'all have a great weekend. This episode comes out tomorrow, so you'll hear the final one. And that's it. Bye. How do I end this? Oh, there we go.